Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs Glass, and in today's video we are checking out the T20 Mini from DOOGEE. This is an 8.4 inch Android 13 running tablet with some pretty decent things going for it. But is it worth the money and should you consider it? Well, let's take a look. Now a bit of housekeeping before we get into the video. This tablet is available directly from DOOGEE's website for $275, but sometimes creeps up to that $300 mark. It's available in 3 colours. You have purple, black and the green one I have here. It of course will be linked in the description below, and a quick shout out for DOOGEE for sending this over for review. So starting with the design. And in all honesty, if you've ever held the newer iPad mini with these squared off edges, this will feel pretty familiar. It's an overall very boxy design with some nice materials to it. The back is all metal with a cutout for the antennas at the top, and on the front we have a 4.8 inch screen, but more on that later. The right hand side has your volume keys, a microphone hole and a power button with their nice bright red accents. Down the bottom you have the USB-C port flanked by some stereo speakers, and it's stereo more in name, not necessarily sound quality, mainly because there is 2 of them. It would have been pretty good overall if when you held the device landscape you had a speaker on each side of the device to give that proper stereo separation, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Up top we have nothing apart from this plastic strip for signal, and the reason for that is because on the side you have a dual SIM and micro SD card slot. So this means you can insert a SIM card for out and about use, and you can also expand the storage with a micro SD card up to 1 terabyte of extra storage. And you also, right on the top left, in a space that is a little bit like an afterthought, you do have a 3.5mm headphone jack. Seriously, this thing is right on the edge, even creeping into the top. It's pretty impressive how they crammed it into this bezel. But again, it's pretty nice to have. If you have children, for example, and you want to give the tablet to them for maybe a longer journey, and you want them to have some headphones plugged in to not have that background noise, then this overall is a pretty good option. You also have a rear-facing double camera setup, which is nice and shallow housing, along with a front-facing camera on the screen. Of course, we'll be looking into the photo samples in a moment, but bit of a spoiler alert, only one of those back cameras, from what I can see anyway, actually does anything. So let's talk about the screen, because 99% of the time that's obviously what you're going to be looking at. Well, specs wise we have an 8.4 inch Full HD screen. It comes with an 84% screen to body ratio, so the borders are pretty good overall, if not symmetrical. The top and bottom borders are slightly bigger than the sides, and you're looking at a 16:10 aspect ratio with this 1200 by 1920 resolution IPS panel. Brightness can go up to 350 nits and overall comes in at around 270 ppi or pixels per inch. Now that all the specs are out the way, it's actually a pretty decent screen overall. Colours are nice and not too oversaturated, which a lot more budget options do, and the 60Hz refresh rate is really all you need with something like this. Videos look great. Watching something colourful like the Elementals looks good overall. Other content like YouTube or more serious videos, while not top of the range, still looks pretty good. Now of course you're not getting that smooth 120Hz refresh rate, 1000 nit brightness, HDR, deep inky blacks with OLED like you get on some other devices, but overall it does the job. If you're reading a book, searching the web, checking emails, more slow-paced activities look good on the screen. If anything, it made me want a more palm-sized Android tablet. Sometimes I want something bigger than a phone, but not as big as an expensive tablet or a laptop. And no, before you say it, I'm not looking for any sort of foldable device. I do want a dedicated tablet, but maybe around that 8-inch mark. And now we got onto the not so great side of things, which does happen a lot with budget Android tablets, and that's the performance. It's not bad, but it could be better with a couple of key points. So inside the T20 Mini, we have a 1.6 GHz octa-core processor, 9 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage. The octa-core chip that I just mentioned is also called the Spreadtrum T606. Not an amazing name. And let me know in the comment section down below if you have, but for me, I've actually never heard of this chip manufacturer before. And I think that's for good reason, because this tablet, while having a great design and nice screen, is definitely let down by this one part. But of course, it's the most important when talking about using the tablet for games, multitasking, and just in general, trying to run everyday basic apps. Now, like I mentioned, using it for general day-to-day activities like email, web browsing, music playback, and even a little like gaming, it does the job. However, you still do see some slowdowns and lag just in everyday moving around the OS. I have installed Nova Launcher on this device because the skin that came with it I wasn't a massive fan of, and of course you're able to kind of change and adapt some of the animations with Nova Launcher, really reducing that time down, but still there are hiccups, lags, and in general it just doesn't feel very fast. And the moment you start doing anything even a little taxing, it just starts to chug along. Now I have been quoted in saying that pretty much any device currently can run COD mobile because it's extremely well optimized. Well, the T20 Mini can run it, but at the lowest of low quality, and even then it's not even up to that 60 frames per second, maybe hovering around 30 or 40 frames. Other games like Asphalt, Standoff 2, Pokemon Unite, and even Marvel Snap just can't really perform here. And you know what, I even tried Genshin Impact just for a bit of a laugh on the lowest settings, and this is how it looked. Overall, not amazing. The frame rate's terrible, the graphics don't look great, there's that slowdown, it just doesn't perform very well. Then again, Genshin Impact is more of those super high performing games on mobile, so I'm not sure what I was expecting, I just want to see how it looked overall. So gaming is a no-go, and even some more everyday tasks are super slow. Going into YouTube, finding a video and playing it sometimes does take its time, and even then just kind of chugs and lags behind. So if you're used to faster devices or even other budget options like a Fire tablet, which are also not super powerful but can perform well, then you do really need to set your expectations with this particular tablet. And I have to talk about it because it's a feature, but now we get onto the cameras of the tablet. On the DOOGEE website, it states make every gorgeous landscape last forever and elevate your photography game to cherish moments. Now, not to spend too long on it here, but here we have a couple of photos from the T20 Mini and also a quick video test, so there is that. Overall, the photos don't look great, the video isn't amazing, the front facing camera is muddy, I wouldn't use this for any sort of photography or even any sort of video chats. Battery life, however, on the T20 Mini is pretty good overall, but not amazing. With a 5060 mAh battery, you can expect around 8 hours of general use like web browsing and maybe 5 hours of more heavier tasks like video watching or trying to attempt to play some games. But that is plenty for the day here, or even a long journey for the kids in the back of the car. So overall, once it's said and done, can I recommend the DOOGEE T20 Mini? Well, if you do want a palm-sized Android tablet, your options are actually kind of limited. A lot of manufacturers like Google and Samsung are going bigger, they're putting loads of specs in there. Obviously you've got the iPad Pro, which is essentially just a laptop without the actual kind of keyboard, trackpad, all the other additions, just the screen. And Samsung have that gigantic tablet that again isn't going to be for everyday use, picking it up and using it. It's more sort of going on the desk, using it with accessories. So again, options are very limited apart from the iPad Mini. But if you do want something for web browsing, book reading at this great size and video on the odd occasion, then this may be a go-to for you. However, if you want something long lasting with updates, continued support and the power to really be that be-all device, I would be looking elsewhere, again maybe towards the iPad Mini if this is the size you're looking for. And in all honesty guys, using this tablet has made me really wish for a really decent high-spec Android tablet that can compete with the iPad Mini. That sort of kind of overbooked size is the way that I would describe it, something that you can take in and out of a bag really easily, somewhere in between a phone and a laptop that isn't a foldable, and there's not really many options out there, so hopefully moving forward that's something that we can see. But that's going to do it guys on my review of the T20 Mini by DOOGEE. Now of course it will be linked in the description down below if you did want to check it out for yourselves. However, do keep in mind that it does go on sale quite regularly, so if you don't want to pick it up at full price, you can get it a little bit cheaper from time to time, which I would recommend, because at the moment, based on the current specs and how it performs, I honestly don't necessarily think it's worth $200 or even $300 like it currently is. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up down below. If you've got any questions or comments, let me know in the comments section down there as well. If you're not already subscribed, now is a great time to do so. And of course, once you've hit the subscribe button, don't forget to turn on the notifications so you're notified anytime I post a video here on the channel. I'm Michael from Copper vs Glass. Thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.